right now is he's performing all over the city and they wrote the same thing. Hosted a comedy fight club and every Sunday night at Lone Craft Bar, Matt Maran.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome to the Sons of Anarchy portion of the show, everybody. I'm in a good mood today. I'm feeling great. Earlier today, I ran 5 miles in just under 45 minutes. Thanks. Oh, I mean, that bitch really wanted her purse back. And I do try and stay in shape. I played sports my whole life. When I was in college, I played a lot of intramural sports. For those of you who don't know, intramural sports is something that white people invented when black people took all the real sports. And all white people have left is hockey, lacrosse, and NASCAR. And the only reason black people don't race in NASCAR is because they know they'd get pulled over for no reason before the finish line. But I don't know. I'll tell you something else happened to me earlier today. Went on Facebook. First thing I saw, a girl I went to high school with invited me to her dog's birthday party. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little ridiculous. She expects me to go to her dog's birthday party. Like, especially because it's on the same weekend as my cat's bar mitzvah. And our little Harley's going to be a man. I can't miss this, right? Now, there's a lot of stupid stuff on Facebook, but if you dig deep enough, you can find some gold. I found a page. This is a real group page you can join. It's entitled, I Have Never Had Sex with a Goat. So of course I joined because I haven't. Thing is, I didn't even check the contents of the page where when I signed up. Doesn't really matter. They could be ending there for all I know. I'm kind of stuck now. Because I'm never going to unsubscribe and have the message come up for all of my friends to see Matt Maran has left the group. I have never had sex with a goat. I'll tell you a little about myself. I was born and raised in New York City, and a lot of people find that hard to believe from looking at me. There's not a lot of native New Yorkers who look like Thor with the drinking problem. I told a guy not too long ago I'm a native New Yorker. He just looks me up and down. He goes, no, you're not. He said, you can't be. You look like the guy who starts the bar fight in every Toby Keith music video. I don't know. I always got made fun of for being a redneck, even though I've lived in Queens my entire life. I don't know. I always thought redneck things were cool, though. For the longest time, Joe Dirt was one of my favorite movies. I like NASCAR. I listen to country music, and I have a really hot cousin. But I've been doing something recently, trying to get a little bit more serious, and I think I've come up with a way that we can stop repeat criminals and offenders in this country. Stop electing them. I think it'd be a fun idea to castrate every male politician just to see how much the prostitution industry declines. That is the new thing. It's like a month doesn't go by without some new sex scandal in the news, but I gotta say, I feel like it's the few that give the many a bad name. It's not like every politician's out there getting themselves into this kind of trouble. It's like the only ones I could really think of off the top of my head were like Anthony Weiner or Arnold Schwarzenegger, Herman Cain, John Edwards, Larry Craig, David Vitter, John Ensign, Chris Lee, Eric Massa, Mark Souter, Mark Foley, Jim McGreevy, Jack Ryan, Gary Conda, Elliot Spitzer. But it's not like it's all of them. And those are all just since the year 2000, which makes sense to me because that's when Bill Clinton left office. That's when sex scandals were really at their most popular, I feel. You know, before Bill Clinton, our politicians weren't these liars or cheaters having any of these sexual indiscretions, except for Bob Packwood, Gary Hart, Barney Frank, Wayne Hayes, Wilbur Mills, John Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Dwight Eisenhower, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Warren Harding, Grover Cleveland, Mel Reynolds, Brock Adams, Strom Thurmond, Richard Mentor Johnson, Thomas Jefferson, and Alexander Hamilton. Can you tell I was a history major? Yeah, I bet none of you thought you'd be learning anything from the guy who looks like he scalps monster truck tickets. I did study history when I was in school, always my favorite subject. And as a student of history, it pains me to know that there was a very popular movie called Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. So, I mean, that's got to be like at least the second worst thing to ever happen to Abraham Lincoln in a theater. I was reading through the news recently, saw a headline on Google News. It said, rare Kennedy item found. And I guess it was the old history major in me. I thought, rare Kennedy item, what was it? His frontal lobe? We were cool with the Abe Lincoln assassination joke, but it's too soon for a JFK one? Okay. I'll wait another 90 years and try that joke over again. I gotcha. I do have a bit of a beef with Google, though. I'll tell you what happened. I had to create a Google account. They asked me for a password. So I wrote in as my password, my penis. And Google said password declined, not long enough. I did learn a lot of valuable lessons when I was in college. Maybe the most valuable one is I learned a valuable lesson about taking naps in public places. So there was a lounge area in the middle of my college campus, and I used to nap there in between classes. And up until one fateful day, I had never thought about the possibility of morning wood. And I remember I probably should have thought of that before I decided to take a nap on a public couch. And I woke up facing outwards and wearing sweatpants. And I looked down, and I was mortified. Like, I wasn't just sticking out a little bit either. I looked like I was auditioning for Sesame Street as the letter L. And I drank a lot when I was in college, too. But I used to have a trick. I'd sit in the back of class, and I'd have a bottle of Pepsi. I'd fill it up half with whiskey so the teachers couldn't tell exactly what I was drinking there. And I always use Diet Pepsi, too, because I drink responsibly. But I don't think I ever got to the point where I had a drinking problem, because they say that the first stage of alcoholism is when you drink alone. So it is a good thing I got that dog. Isn't it the worst feeling in the world, though, when you wake up after a night of drinking to the sound of someone's obnoxiously loud lawnmower? So I'm always just like, ugh, like I don't want to wake up. Just mow around me. I remember I was out a few months ago. I was talking to this girl in a bar. She cuts me out 2 minutes into the conversation, tells me that she has a boyfriend. Like, all right, I have my taxes due next week. She said, what's that to do with anything? I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about things we could cheat on. You guys are a fun bunch. What do you say? Do you think when a male porn star dies, they spread his ashes all over his wife's face? I watch a lot of porn. I think I may watch too much. I've watched so much porn now, I'm actually starting to recognize the animals. Right, this is the part of the set where I endear myself to the audience, guys. I was on a bus not too long ago, and as guy was getting off, and as he got off, he dropped his phone. 2 10-year-old boys picked it up, and I saw there was porn on the phone. So I quickly grabbed it away and tried to explain what they had just seen in the gentlest way possible. So I said, look, when a mommy and a daddy and another daddy and another daddy and another daddy love each other very, very much, it's a sex talk I wish my dad gave me. And I got a pretty good relationship with my dad, with my parents also, and there's been a big debate whether or not parents should or shouldn't hit their kids. And I was hit as a kid. I remember my dad, he spanked me, he hit me with the belt, even choked me one time. Like, whatever it took to make me come. No. He was a caring father. That's... You guys are a lot of fun. I've noticed a lot of male comedians get up on stage and talk about the problems they have with women. So instead, I'm going to tell you about a time when a girl said that she knew I was the one. Yeah, I was standing in a police lineup. No. I know, it was exciting for me. It's the first time a white girl ever chose me over 5 black guys. So, you guys have been fun. My name is Matt and Maran. Thank you guys very much.